The NFL Combine's here. We're going to be looking at these players all weekend long under a microscope, looking at their speed scores, looking at how they move, analyzing their stock, up, down, where should we draft them, who's going to draft them, who's the risers, who's the fallers. We're going to hear all that chatter here over the next few days. But before we dig into all that, we're going to cover some players. We're going to do some deep analysis. We're going to do some advanced metrics, some things I've been hearing through the grapevine, and everything else. But before we dig in, you need to click that subscribe button right now because we're going deep on these rookies every day. And we're going to get deeper. We're looking at dynasty trades, dynasty stashes, anything to help you move forward. Anything we can do. Just click that button. Stop missing out. We're talking about our first player, though. Our first player I want to talk about here, and I've been wanting to talk about him for a bit. It's just tight ends hard for me to talk about. I don't like tight ends too much. But Elijah Arroyo. Watch him at the Combine. Watch him at the Combine. You saw him at the Senior Bowl. Rave reviews. Had a good 2024 season. Maybe it's Cam Ward induced. But watch him at the Combine. Watch his stock. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to say, hey, greatest tight end of all time. Might be one of those next great Miami tight ends. No. Just watch him at the Combine. See what happens. See what happens. Coming out of high school, you know I'm the high school recruiting guy. 24 offers, 4-star athlete, number 4 tight end in the 2021 recruiting class, Georgia, Alabama, Miami, Auburn. So big-time recruit coming out of high school for the position. At 129 overall, that's pretty high. That's pretty high in a class, especially at the tight end spot. So he's a big-time prospect coming out of high school. Things start off a little bit slow, then we really ramp up this year. And 2024... 3.17 yards after the catch per reception. But here's the clue. Here is the little clue that you also want to look at. The average depth of target on 35 receptions is 11. 11. So we're going to push downfield a little bit. That's also another clue to the athleticism that we might be seeing at the Combine. Might not. I need to see if he's actually working out. Doesn't matter to me. 47 targets. So 11 8-out on 47 targets. That's good. That's good for a tight ends. Usually live around like the 6 to 8 range in 8-out. If you're pushing 8, it's actually kind of good. You're kind of like big old Wan'Dale Robinson's out there, and you're just hoping to catch a touchdown. The 11 8-out's a huge indicator. And then that freshman season, even though it's just 8 targets, 10.1 8-out, that sophomore year's 8, that's like the upper part of the average tight end. That 11 8-out on 47 targets, something to pay attention to. That might be the clue. That might be the clue. We got 7 touchdowns this year, 590 yards. This is a tight end to pay attention to. I think he's going to jump some stock over the weekend, and people are going to be talking him up. People are talking him up heavy at the Senior Bowl. Heavy at the Senior Bowl. 10.3% target share this year. Nothing amazing with the metrics, honestly. Nothing standing out. The 8-out is what is catching my eye. The athleticism, the size-adjusted speed, and the potential to jump up in the draft. And if he jumps up in the draft, I don't think it's really going to matter because we can move. We show it on tape. We got good hands. We can break off routes, and that's all I want. That's really all I want. But Ricky White's one of my favorite wide receivers in this draft. And he might slip. He might go a little higher than expected. But go watch the tape because this guy's electric. He's aggressive when the ball's in the air. And if you're not on to him, you need to pay attention to a G5 prospect, though. But there's a little cream in the sauce. 3-star prospect coming out of high school, 98th wide receiver overall. 31 offers. 31 offers. College football was heavy onto him. Maybe not all the big-time programs. Small schools, bigger schools, medium-tier schools, a little bit of everything. We land with Michigan State, right? 2020, 4 games. Remember, it's 2020. Shortened season, 10 catches, 223 yards, 1 touchdown. You remember that because we go to UNLV, we post up those grandiose stats. At Michigan State, an 8-out of 16. And then at UNLV, 12.4, 11.8, 8-out in those final 2 years. Yak is a little bit low, but you're also getting a deeper 8-out, so that's going to impact that. Yards per route ran, good. Good. 2.93, 3.83. Solid. And you're looking at when he went off. His best game came against Michigan while at Michigan State. As a freshman as a 3-star with limited time to climb the depth chart due to the cerveza sickness. Climbing the depth chart, balling out on Michigan, 8 balls caught, 196 yards, 1 touchdown. And then at UNLV, the story writes itself, right? Oregon State would go off, Kansas, Boise State, some other mid-tier schools, but it is what it is. We were productive. The thing is, market share-wise, over at Michigan State, 13.35%. But we ramped it up kind of like on the back end of that. And that's pretty solid considering where you're coming from in the recruiting class and all. We break out at age 20, and at age 21, we go off for 44.59% market share, and we finish it off with a 42.7% market share. Yards per team pass attempt, 3.36 versus 3.67. We're looking solid statistically. You turn on the film, you see the sticky hands. The thing about Ricky White here, the fact that we were productive over at Michigan State in a very limited sample size, and we had some injuries impacting us, and going into age 19, that is something to pay attention to. Now we're at UNLV, we ball out. We did what we needed to do. I'm not saying he's going to be the greatest prospect of all time, but in a lackluster wide receiver class, you're looking at a guy here that's twitched up, that could climb the rankings here, or be that guy that's the diamond in the rough. RJ Harvey, I talked about my running back rankings a few days ago. And I'm adding a few in here and there every single week. And I need to add them in, but I want to talk about him now because I think he's going to be looking good. I like RJ Harvey. It's not like I'm sleeping on him, but I have a process. My process is waiting on you guys to talk about these players in the comments. So it is what it is. RJ Harvey, looking at him, dual threat, 3-star prospect, going to Virginia to start things off, 13 offers. And we got mid-tier schools looking at him, some lower schools looking at him. But we climb it up. We go to UCF, 796 yards in 2022, 1,400 in 2023, 1,500 in 2024. We have an ACL injury mixed in there. That being said, yards after contact per attempt, 3.88, 3.56, 3.57. Carries the 10-plus yards or more, 54, 43, 22. Missed tackles forced, 74, 69, 181 on his career. The numbers are checking out. The tape's checking out. He's very jacked up, twitchy, and assertive, which I like. Vision's good. Everything's looking good. Back-to-back years of big production. It's the running back position. I don't care about age. Wear and tear on the tires, cool. I don't mind it too much because you know what? I'm playing the short game with all the running backs anyways. That's just how the running back position is. I think RJ Harvey's got some upside. Looking at where he went off against, Oklahoma State, Iowa State, BYU, Utah, Oklahoma, big-time schools, small schools, medium schools. Anybody with 2 hands and feet can get it with this kid. That being said, we're looking at Damian Martinez, another running back I want to talk about. The thing about Damian Martinez, he was in the transfer portal. And when he was in the transfer portal, he was the name everybody wanted going to their team. People wanted him to go to Kentucky. People wanted him to go here, there. Everybody knew he was going to Miami. I knew he was going to Miami. I had a source. But everybody wanted to know where he was going to go. And he went with Ward, following Cam Ward. It was later in the transfer portal process. We made that move. The thing is, we made a big move coming out of high school as a 3-star going to Oregon State. The thing about that is it was his freshman season. And you couldn't deny him. You couldn't deny him. He was on the tape. He was that guy you were watching on Saturdays. Pac-12 After Dark. It was him. It was him. And then the next year, when they let him loose, 1,100 yards, 9 touchdowns. We hit the portal, we go to Miami. Hardly any transition process, 1,000 yards, 10 touchdowns. Yards after contact per attempt, 4.46 with a new team. That's solid. 3.82 the year prior with Oregon State. In the receiving game, this is what I really like to look at. Yards after the catch per reception. What are you doing in the flat when there's space there? Are you able to make guys miss, get those extra yards? 11.4, 11.1, 15.5. I get it. 2022, 4 balls caught. Those are elite numbers. Those are big-time numbers. You want to be in double digits. You're in double digits. There's something here. There's something here. This is a running back given the opportunity to be the guy or in a part-time role where there's passing opportunities. Is a guy you don't want to pass up on. And again, we're going off on everybody. We're going off on everybody. Florida State, Colorado, Iowa State, Colorado again, Washington State, Cal Dave, Oregon, San Diego State, everybody. Anybody can get it. Anybody can get it, but LeJohntay Wester is my dude. My dude from Colorado. And what I like about LeJohntay Wester, similar story to what we just saw with Damian Martinez, but maybe a little bit more extreme here. 0-star kid. Nobody knows about him. We just know he goes to FAU. We do not know how many offers, how good he was, or anything like that. 24/7 Sports don't even know who he is. And then we get to Florida Atlantic. We have one ramp-up year. Then our second year, we go off. 702 yards, 4 touchdowns. Then the next season, 719 yards and 8 touchdowns. Then the final year there, 1,100 yards and 8 touchdowns. But 2023, remember, that deep wide receiver class. You're coming from a G5 program. Not really smart to come out for the draft, would it be? Would it be? So what's the smart move to do? Transfer out to a bigger program and prove that you can compete. That's what we do. And we have a good wide receiver there at Colorado who's soaking up the targets named Travis Hunter. It doesn't matter. 931 yards, 10 touchdowns. We break double digits, 74 balls caught. And we get to the Shrine game, Shrine practices. This is the name you constantly heard. LeJohntay Wester this, LeJohntay Wester that. That is the name coming from the Shrine practices. He was getting his shine. And this is the player to pay attention to in the middle rounds that might go to your team. That maybe with the right quarterback might twitch it up a bit. And he broke out at age 19. 23.54% market share. If you have a 25% threshold, he broke out at age 20. We had a monster year at age 21. And then we hit 22% market share with Colorado. Technically, we broke out with 2 different teams. That's a huge indicator. That also tells us we can go from one team to another and very quick to adapt to the new situation. So possibly that we could very quickly adapt to the NFL. We're quickly adapting to a new team. We quickly adapted from high school to FAU, from FAU to Colorado. So why can't he do that to the NFL level? Maybe not, but indicators here that there's a chance. There's a good chance for that. Look at what Travis Hunter did. Look what he did. There's potential here. There is potential here from what we saw. This is a wide receiver you do not sleep on when it comes to your rookie drafts. There's a lot of upside here with LeJohntay Wester. He's twitched up, good route runner. A guy that you might be picking up as a UDFA after your rookie drafts or with one of your last picks. You might land with your favorite team. You might see him go in the middle rounds. You might see him get drafted a little bit higher than expected. And you're wondering, what the heck? I hear about Jimmy Horn all the time. This is a good player. This is a good player. Let me know some players you're looking at right now. I'm looking at everybody. As you all know, make sure you hit that subscribe button on the way out. One thing for watching. Catch you on the next video.